Hi. All right. Kind of weird lighting. Let's see. Let's move that. Oh, that's better. Okay. Are we better? There. Hola. Hi. How are you? This was part of my kickstand. I put the phone on this, y'all. Meadows' little book. Little Meadows' book. How is everybody doing? How is everybody doing? I don't know where you are, but hi. It is whatever day this is. Hi there. Hi. Hi. Oh my God. Hi. How are you guys? Oh my God. Yeah. You know, I got a lot of shit to say, but I'm not going to. First of all, okay, so you know, the hair, it's just such a weird day. Anyway, first of all, they took down, they didn't take down, they content blocked my video on Hulk Hogan because we put his images in the front. And the WWE did this. Yeah. Like, literally, they did that. Yeah. I mean, so I put it on private and I disputed it again. And I'm just under spiritual attack right now. I can tell because of what happened to the warehouse. Found a dead wasp on the floor. Oh, this neck. Found a dead wasp on the floor, covered by the ants. And Shannon gave me a great shout out to Shannon for a great ant cure. But they come after the dead wasp. It's like, yeah, don't be hurting over anybody. I have to explain it. I don't mean that in the fucked up way it sounds, but first of all, understand, yeah, the energy was weird. It's portal time because it's eclipse time. Let's turn the air on. Let's turn the air on. Okay, yeah, it's definitely, it's portal time. And so when the portals open, energy comes in and out. That includes host bodies, spirit bodies, demon bodies, all of that kind of thing. But understand what they're trying to get you to do. Look at what day this is. We always have eclipses all year round, okay? We always do. But look at what day this is. Okay, you know what today is. I'm not even going to say it on here. Utah, we have another eclipse on the 21st. I want to say, could be wrong. Let me look it up because it's on the 21st, I think. But yeah, I saw a wild car accident and stopped as a witness because this little bitch was running. She was a hit and runner. She fucking hit and ran, whatever. I was like, excuse me. I took her license plate. I was like, excuse me, I'll tell you all. But first, hold on. I'll tell you exactly. I think it's the 21st, and I want to say it's at 12. I just looked this up the other day. I think it's at 12:50 something. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so it was a lunar eclipse on the 7th, and so it's a solar eclipse on the 21st. Yeah, September 21st, and I think it's 12:50 something in the West Coast, on this coast. Anyway, yeah. Why do you guys shove shit at me? What do you think happened to them? You saw the same shit I did. What do you think that is? What do you think that is? You think you need a psychic to tell you that the government is purposely doing shit because someone opens their mouth and squelching free speech? Because if you injure, kill, maim, kill somebody's child, whatever it is that you do, then you stop other people from speaking. So we use this weapon over here, and then all the sheep and cowards known as human beings on this fucking planet. Hi, Wee Writer. Yeah, they cower because this happened. You got to not be afraid to die. You literally got to stand up and say, I'm not afraid to die. And I'm still going to speak my fucking mind. No matter what you say, no matter what you do. Of course they killed him. That's not a lone shooter. I mean, just stop. What it is a weaponized human being. Think of MK Ultra. It was done in World War II, right? It was done in World War II. So MK Ultra is a break. See, I stopped myself. I can't look. Anyway, MK Ultra is a breakdown of the mind, right? It's a breakdown of the way that people process information. And if you get these people young enough, right? If you get them young enough, like look at Britney Spears, look at Amanda Bynes, look at Charles Manson, you get them. Thank you for that. Let's see. Oh, your birthday. Oh, no. Oh, I was getting excited about your birthday, and then you said your son's death day. I'm not excited for that. I don't like that. Well, obviously a professional assassin did it, but here's a question. So, first of all, seriously, so I'm online on the internet and I'm looking at people talking about him and they're happy because they disagreed with his politics. You know, there's a lot of people I disagree with. I don't thank you for that. I don't think you should be. Nobody's a fucking saint. You don't get to fucking murder them. He wasn't a saint. No one gives a fuck. Who are you to judge? Who's the person killing him to judge? Who are you people? He wasn't a saint. No one cares. Nobody's a fucking saint, okay? That's not what I'm talking about. Get a clue. You're making it political and you're dumb. I'm telling you straight up, you're stupid if you do that. I don't care what he is because your husband, your mother, your father is probably all fucking not saints either, okay? They probably cheated, stolen, done shit that you don't even know about. You don't come from a pious place. I don't come from a pious place. Shut the fuck up. I'm so sick of people. What are you talking about? You think you get to do that? You think you get to do that because somebody doesn't agree with your dumbass opinion? Who are you? Who am I? I'm nobody. You're nobody. He's nobody. But because he opened his mouth and said free speech, look at the bigger issue. Free speech. Free speech. He said something that he thought, whether you like it or not, I know it's a distraction. I know what they're doing. Whether you like what he said or not, it doesn't fucking matter what he said. I don't like Gavin Newsom. I despise everything he says. Do you think it's okay to take the same kind of action? It is not. It is not. And I don't agree with anything he says. I don't agree with Trump and I don't agree with Biden. I don't agree with any of them. There's parts of their conversation, but you're in the political game where you think your guy, we got him. That's the most fucked up thinking. I can't even with people. He wasn't a saint. Is that what you say when someone's murdered in your family? Well, they weren't a saint. How would you like that? How the fuck would you like that? I can't. I just can't. It triggers me. I'm looking for my microphones. Oh, hold on. It triggers me like crazy. Don't fucking say shit like that. Do you think anybody's a saint? Nobody's a saint. You're on earth. You're all bitches. You're here. You know you're in hell, right? You know you're in hell. You know that this place is not where good people reincarnate. So you can stop with that bullshit right now. You're here and I'm here. So there ain't nobody better. Stop acting like that. He was doing his job, what he was hired to do, and he had opinion, and he, I'm going to say this, as a 60-year-old woman, looking back at what abortion is, I agree for your right to do it, but call it what it is, okay? There is a heartbeat. Understand there is a heartbeat. That's why you ladies and myself ran to the fucking doctor the second we heard we were pregnant, and everybody I know who wanted their babies, and we're like, listen to the heartbeat. Like that. There's a fucking heartbeat, okay? So do with that what you will. But because someone says their belief system, do they get to come into your house and tell you how to think? Why are you shooting this man? Don't shoot anybody. Don't shoot anybody. Stop doing that. I mean, I knew kids, friends of my children, of both my children, that got gunned down and murdered in Los Angeles, okay? One of them being Porfirio, that we called Cheerio. So I knew gangbangers. I knew that they were not saints. Do you think someone has a right to come down the street and just put a bullet in your head? What is that about? Oh, well, we don't agree with him. We don't agree with him, and he wasn't a saint. Don't say that. That's dismissive and qualifying. We know he wasn't a saint because he was born on earth, just like you're not a saint and I'm not a saint. There are no perfect people on this planet. However, what I will say is he was 31 years old. So he was a child, a young man. He had 2 babies, 1 and 3, 1 and 4, married 4 years. I don't know how old the kids were, but they were babies. What do you think you're doing? Okay? What do you think you're doing? What do you think you're doing? And the fact that, and then go back to JFK. I go right back to JFK. Okay? His children, I remember that little boy at the funeral. I wasn't born when JFK died, okay? But I remember watching it my entire life. The reason that they do, I'm putting the mic down now. The reason that they do this, okay, is because they want to elicit division between people. That's what sports games are. I'm going to vote for New York. I'm going to vote for the Rams. I'm going to vote, or whichever, the Dodgers. I don't even know what the teams are. I'm going to vote for this. I'm going to keep the mic. I'm going to vote for this. I'm going to vote for that. That's what that gets you in a mindset. Like your vote counts. Nothing you say counts. We don't care if you're for him or against him. You should be against the fact that the man was gunned down in public, regardless of who he is. Because a lot of people are killed and you don't know who they are or what they've done. You don't know. You don't know. So Broncos and Raiders, exactly. So you have no clue who they are and why what happened to them did. The fact is, some person like the Bourne Identity, like Matt Damon's character in the Bourne Identity, MK Ultra, triggered into action, will have no memory of it. It's called a weaponized human being. Be smarter than you are to go, he wasn't a saint. I mean, honestly, what an ignorant, that triggered me so much. You are so ignorant to say that. We know he wasn't. I'm not saying he was. I never listened to the man, but for a second. I don't watch politics. I'm aware of it over here, but I don't zone into it because I don't believe in right-left paradigm anything, okay? I'm not picking A or B. What I do know is that when little children are witness and when little children's fathers don't come home, how would you feel? What is wrong with everybody? What is wrong with everybody? Who cares? I don't know if he was good or bad. I mean, John listened to him, so John gave me the rundown of what he thought. I'm not going to agree with everything the man says or what he doesn't say. I don't agree with what everybody says or doesn't say, and you wouldn't agree. Wait, hold on. That is so ignorant. So many, people, fuck them for saying that. But you know what it is? It's an attack on your free speech because now you think you're on the right side of everything because you listen to people, okay? You listen to people. Oh, he wasn't a good man. Okay, then just go kill him. Why do we have the death penalty? Why do we have the death penalty? And here's another question. Out of all the fucking people on planet Earth, why are the pedophiles not being eradicated in such a manner? Why are the pedophiles not being taken out? Why are people who rape children not being gunned down by you fucking yahoos that think it's cool to do that? As soon as you start doing that, then I'll fucking listen to you. But otherwise, shut the bleeping hell up. Oh my God. I mean, it just makes me nuts. Go after, I know it's adrenochrome. Go after the pedophiles. Go after them. Don't go after somebody who's not doing that to your knowledge, right? And in front of his children. Who are you? Lest it happen to you. Open your mouth again like that and watch. Watch when it happens to you. And somebody says to you, well, your father wasn't a saint. Yeah, you're going to come unglued. You're going to come unglued. Just unglued. Yeah, it's Epstein files. It is, I know, right? It's Epstein files. It's political references to the Middle East and the Gaza Strip. It's all kinds of things. And you know what? Since this government and all governments, every government, involves me in my incarnation in this fucking lifetime into their goddamn pansy-ass bullshit about running this country, right? So, like, I have to watch this shit. I have to hear about it. I have to deal with it. Well, why can't I have an opinion that differs from what other people say? Are you the fucking boss of me? Shut the hell up. I don't eat what people eat. You think Taco Bell's okay? I do not. You would not be my child and eating Taco Bell unless you snuck out to eat it. But you would not. He said, you know what? Let's see. He said black women were stupid and Was friends with Candace. That's hilarious. What does that have to do with being gunned down? Do you know how many black men are gunned down? In fact, I know 4 personally that were friends of my children. Does it matter what they said about white people? I'm a white woman. I still don't think you should fucking gun them down. What are you saying? Are you that fucking myopic in your thinking? Like you don't have a fucking mindset or a brain to your... I don't understand. Do you not have a brain in your head? I don't care what he said about anybody or anything. I'm telling you, there's young men, black young men in this state, in California, being gunned down every single day. And they don't like white people. I don't think they should be killed. They're allowed to say they don't like whitey. I don't give a fuck. You don't get to murder them. I may not like you. I don't think someone should fucking eradicate you off the planet. What are you actually saying? And you're not protecting children against pedophiles. Again, let's round this up. Let's round this right up. Okay? Let's round this up. What are you doing since you have such a strong opinion about, oh, he didn't like black people? I don't know what he liked or not. I never listened to him and I don't give a fucking shit what he did like or not. What I do know is none of you get up in arms about people raping children. That's what I do know. So as far as I'm concerned, shut up. Just literally shut up. Shut up. Shut up. I mean, what are you doing? There's lots of people that die and I don't like them. Okay? And they've done wrong. I'm not going to say it. I pray for their souls so that they get out of this hellhole. I mean, come on. What is wrong with you? I don't care if they like white people. I don't care if they hate black people. I don't care if they hate white, black, Asian, Mexican, and any other mix, Filipino, and everybody mix. That does not give you the right. That does not give you the right, okay? I don't know if he was or not. I never listened to him. I'm telling you, I don't care. I'm not going to defend someone I don't know personally either. What I'm defending is the person's right to speak. You have as much right to speak as, and now they're going to stop speaking on campuses because that's where I gather he spoke was on Kansas, in campuses, right? Right? Every time you say you're from town, New Mexico, I think you're talking about Taco Bell. I see Taco Bell and I go, Taco Bell. Yeah, but he can have his version of truth and it does not matter. The fact is, American people, that there are people applauding that type of behavior is disgusting. It's disgusting. No, we're not going to move on. You can get off the channel. It's disgusting. Okay, it's really disgusting. So they will remove freedom of speech off of campuses, which is why you should homeschool your kids. Unless they're going to be doctors or architects. You really shouldn't send them to a public school or to any kind of school on a campus because your kids are being brainwashed into some kind of bullshit. Your kids are literally being told, that it's okay to cut their dicks off and not tell their parents. So if you don't have a problem with that because you can't have a drink till you're 18, but at 12 you can do that, I think there's something wrong with you and you should look at the agenda of depopulation and inversion, which is a beast system concept. Obviously, there's people born that feel like they're in the wrong bodies. That's like, I've met them. I've always been around transgenders, okay? I grew up in Toronto. I've had transgender and LGBTQ friends my entire life, since I was 4. I played with a neighbor girl. She was a lesbian. She wore a tool belt. She wanted to be the daddy in all of our games. I've talked about her, Diane. She wanted to be the daddy, and then there were, me and Kathy were the 2 mummies, right? So I know people come by this naturally, but what they're pushing is they're pushing your kids to not tell you and hold secrets against you, okay? No, trans people have always been around. I'm saying that, okay? They're telling you not to tell your kids, not to tell you something, which is wrong. That's keeping secrets. You're the parents. I'm referring to all schools. Keep your kids at home. Do not pay your taxpayer money and have them talk about the shit that they talk about, okay? Do not do that. Do not do that. They tried to, and I actually watched a Senate hearing, and I'm going to say this. I watched a Senate hearing, and it was sometime in COVID, so I'm going back a few years. And this stupid bitch, and I think she looked Asian if I remember, so maybe you guys remember this clip. She's talking about abortion, right? And she's legislating in whichever circuit court for abortion on the day of birth. So like if you don't want the baby while you're giving birth, they can kill the baby. Are you absolutely out of your fucking mind? And I don't care what you think. Are you absolutely out of your mind? Are you crazy? Give the baby to the fire station and walk away. Walk away. Walk away. Well, of course it's murder, but she was legislating and people were applauding her. No, it's called full term. Is it full term? Something. But they meant like when the baby, she was talking about the baby. Why would you open your mouth and say something like that? And you'll be the first bitch to cry when someone in your family dies. Like, it's not fair. Tough. If you're looking at it like that, it's not fair. No, all life matters or no life matters. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. But you have to understand the agenda. Do you remember hearing that? I was like, what did I actually hear? So terrible. It is a spiritual battle. San Antonio, Texas. Thank you, ADF. It is a spiritual battle. And look, I'm drinking the awful Starbucks water. It's terrible. Anybody that has protect the elder, no, they kill the elderly. That's why you don't. RFK just got, RFK. He just got in trouble for telling people to go over the donation because he's afraid that the donations were being taken from the bodies before the people were dead. Because the hospital, like I said, makes money off it. Oh, it's definitely Mad Max, big time. And they tell you that you should be happy because this man had a different, I know he was against abortion. That's probably why they pop shotted him. It's okay. You can be for abortion. You can help somebody you know get an abortion and still not fully agree with it. Why does it have to be this or that? Why do you have to fall into why are there two stupid political choices? Yeah, I stopped being an organ donor because Keith told me to before he died. He literally told me this. My son told me this. Okay, hold on. People are evil. If it happened to their relatives, and someone celebrated, you may not like the person, and you don't have to. Who died and told these people that their political opinion is the only one that counts? Why do you have two systems? Why don't we just have a fucking tyrannical system? Why don't we just have a tyrannical system? Why don't we just do that and get done with it? Like one fucking dictator and everybody goddamn listens to them because we have freedom of choice and freedom of free speech. Free speech is what they shut down. They shot a man with a differing opinion, and it's not a lone wolf. It is an entire orchestration to take him down. The week before he dies, he's talking about that country with the Gaza Strip and whatever he was saying. I'm just hearing bits and pieces of this. And the Jeffrey Epstein files, okay? Oh, yeah, Sam. No, I'm not saying that there aren't people who don't need it. What I'm saying is they've proven that people are not dead when they're taking the organs. And I'm sure you don't want someone murdered so that you get a liver transplant. I'm sure. So, it's mind-boggling what people say. And I was just talking about that, about George Floyd, okay? So they all go after that guy who's like a crack addict and a drug dealer. But here's what I said about that. I don't like George Floyd or anything about him. But he did have a mother and he did have a family, even though he was a drug-pushing criminal. However, the police had all the power in that instance, and they had no right to sit on his neck and murder him. You got a gun and you got handcuffs. Tackle the bitch, handcuff his ass, throw him over there, but you don't have to kill him. And I don't even like that man, okay? He's a fucking criminal. But why would the cop do that? That's completely wrong. I don't care who he was. It's completely fucking wrong. Okay? So it's completely wrong. Yeah, well, no. You've got a gun. You've got all the authority on planet Earth. All the authority. And you have to do that. And then I have to watch it on the TV until my emotions are extracted, okay? And Kirk said it was just, I don't care what he said. You don't have a fucking right. I don't care what the man said, what he learned. He was 30 fucking one. Why are you taking information from a 31-year-old? Do they have wisdom and do they know? They know so far, but do they know? So it's your fault for listening to a 31-year-old. It doesn't mean he needs to be fucking gunned down. Stop that shit. Stop it. Stop it. Like literally stop it, you know? And they televise it like JFK, which I've seen my whole life. JFK, and there he is driving in the van, and then someone just rips his skull off his head. Why? Because he wanted to stop the, I was going to say Iran-Contra, but it was Cuba, and he wanted to bring back in gold, right? So he had a different opinion, and they fucking just shot him in the head. I had to watch that. Everybody goes, oh, it's so sad. Then the aliens siphon your energy. Best way to look at any trauma, best way, okay? Best way to look at any trauma is to, it's just something, yeah, he can debate about, I don't care, he can debate it. Do you think he should be shot? What have you debated at a party when you're drunk or high on the weed? What have you debated? Should the homeowner shoot you because you won't shut the fuck up in their house? Haven't you ever felt like that? Someone's in your house and you're like, I wish this motherfucker would shut up at Christmas dinner because I hate their opinion, right? So should you shoot them? I mean, it's the same thing. That's what you're saying. You're saying, well, you know, he said that. I don't care what he said. And I don't care what George Floyd said or did. They're both pricks. You still don't have the right to shoot them. How about that? You don't have the right. So what people have to do, no, JFK, it's astonishing what they did to him. It's astonishing. And I don't like government. And I was like astonished having to see that video of that man and Jackie Kennedy wipe his brains up off her dress, and I don't even like her, and do that, and then go and swear in Johnson, who's probably the one that did the takeover, the coup against JFK. So she had to stand there, look at that guy, knowing what she knows instinctually, after picking her husband's head up off of her dress or getting it from the back of the car, I can't remember what it is, wiping her husband. Now, I'm not saying he didn't cheat. I'm not saying he wasn't on drugs. I'm not even saying he wasn't a gay man. I don't care. Who are you to do that? Why, as a society, we just go, well, you know, I mean, I guess he said that, so, you know, he deserved it. Really? I can't. That's not how it works. And if you think that's how it, well, they shut him up. We are not to play God. We are in hell. Bad people incarnate here. So whatever you did and whatever I did in a past life, we are here. So for anybody to take a pious attitude about anything is redundant, ridiculous, and just ridiculous. All of your religion, all of your bullshit is bullshit. You're here and it is not God's playground here. So it's disgusting. They do it but why do we allow it? So don't give your emotions to them. What you probably need to do is to step your energy back. And okay, you know when you want to punch someone in the face? I go through those emotions daily. And you just want to come at them and go, that's it, boom, like this, right? Instead of that, step back. Understand it's not personal to you. Your political opinion does not matter to the government. They do not care about you. That is so evident by what they inject into your body and try to feed you at the local drive-thru. Taco Bell, McDonald's, and the fact that you people think that it's okay to eat that. I mean, you know, we have different opinions about that. Should I take you off the planet because you stuff your face with junk food? I mean, anyway. I can't. It makes me crazy. Okay? You have to understand what they're doing. They're trying to silence you and me and anybody that speaks out against them. They're talking about countries that are at war, that control the United States and control China and control everything. And people have differing opinions as they learn and gather information. I just got called crazy again this week by a family member because I pointed out something they were doing, like drinking too much water in their life. And they're like, you're crazy. Your opinions are crazy. Should I shoot him? Should I fucking shoot him? should I do that? That's what we're talking about here. We're talking about a man that had an opinion, and if you don't like him, who is telling you to listen to him? Like, I can't. It's like, oh my God, I can't. I feel like I cannot. I will not. I can't. And I mean, just like, oh, I go crazy. He just changed the channel. I know. I can't understand the taco. Every time John says, I was just getting Taco Bell, I'm like, you know what that is, right? You know. Anyway, yeah, you exactly. Exactly. Wait, what did you just say? I'm sure there was I only get my politics from evolved psychics. I'm not political. What I'm saying to you is the government doesn't care about you. If they cared about you, they would stop the siege coming into this country of fentanyl killing your children. They would stop the pedophiles that they know traffic your children, okay? They would, human meat, flesh, and fast food. They would stop pedophiles instead of letting them out. They would stop harboring them by extraditing them to that country in the Middle East where there is no extradition for pedophiles. They would stop doing that. And once you learn that, you're not even free to say it. You have to swallow the BS that is put out there by friends because you may not get work. You may not get this. You may not get that. Like that. I'm so sick of it. I'm like so sick of it. And the fact that people talk about a government, Democratic or Republican, Democrat or Republican, okay? The fact that you think that you're in alignment with one of those two makes me fucking laugh, okay? You make me laugh. There is no government that you can align with if you're a God-fearing person. They are not of God. And they want to inject your body with shit. What is that about? Are you my medical doctor now? Are you my medical doctor? Are you in the government telling me what I need to put in my veins? Okay, well, that's nice. Like, shut up. Okay, that's cool. That's cool and all. You're entitled to your opinion, but I'm not doing what you want me to do. So it's ridiculous. You have to understand, the man was murdered and in front of his children. The man was murdered in front of his children. Those are children. And again, we don't protect children. We just go, well, he deserved it. Fuck his kids. How, I can't. I just, Kamala did it. No, I don't know who did it. He seemed like he was conservative. Like, I'm not conservative. And they're in Utah because that's a fucked up energy. I love Utah. But it's just conservative. And there's a certain type of look to the way that they dress and the way that they look because they trick you. It's a mask. All these people in politics, do you ever see them all tatted up? Do you see them coming up like in their workout clothes? I mean, Bill Clinton actually was the only one. Remember him going jogging and then going through? I know who it was. It is real. But anyway, do you remember Clinton? There's a Mormon look, a Mormon cheerleader look, right? So yeah, no, Utah is really, it's a cult in Utah. A beautiful country. Oh my God, beautiful terrain. I know, my family calls me crazy. I literally was at dinner with John and he's like, you're crazy. The things you say are crazy. I'm like, the fact that you believe the things you think? Did I shoot him? Is he dead? No. Okay? No. I mean, I just said, we're going to stop talking about this. Utah is gorgeous. I love running in Utah. But the energy there is very strange. It's full. Okay, understand that all religion is man-made. The way that we receive religion. You either know what God is or you don't. You either know what God is or you don't, right? Oh, Sloan, are you an FBI operative? I look like Keith. Keith used to make those faces when people asked him stupid questions. He was a very smart boy. No, I am not an FBI operative. But thank you that you think I could get through the testing part of that. You fucking weirdos. Oh, no, I am not. Do you see how you try to discredit people? You're not going to discredit me. You know why? I'm not in politics. I don't give a fuck if you follow me. I don't have to do a YouTube. I don't give a fuck. I'm still going to live my life doing what I do and still laughing all the way to the bank, and you ain't going to fucking stop it, because I've been doing my work, not counting on things on social media, just my day-to-day work with my day-to-day clients. So bite my ass. Yeah, grandma was blonde with hazel eyes. Go, grandma. I'm a grandma too. Yeah, and when you get to be a certain age, you're like, shut the fuck up. Like, you know what? I can't even. I can't. As a 19-year-old, I would have punched you in the face if you said that you wanted to stop abortion, because I was so pro-abortion. As a married woman in the middle of my marriage, I would help any teenage friend that I had go to a doctor if that's what they needed for themselves, but I would try to encourage them not to get in that position. Or I would encourage them not to get in that position again, but I wouldn't turn away helping. And I would still help somebody now, but I definitely don't think it's the right thing to do. It is such a problem. Who is this? Chat is glitching. Oh, the chat is glitching. Like, who is this? So your political opinion and your stance can change. I mean, half the people that were voting for, who was the last guy? Oh, I can't even remember. Weekend at Bernie's. Biden, okay, and Kamala, they were, however you say her name with a K. So, no, I didn't think Bill Clinton was cute. Hold on, I'll change that thought in a second. I never finished that. But anyway, I can't stand men like that. And no, his nose is too bulbous. I don't like men like that. I've got a certain type. He is the right age group for my type. He's like 20-something years older than me. So that's my age group. Yes. But did I like him? No. But when you're looking at Biden or Camilla, whoever was running in the last, I don't know if it was her or whatever, they promised to eradicate student loan debt. So people in their 20s and 25 onward, they're like, yeah, let's get rid of debt. That's all they hear. They don't look at anything else, right? So here's the problem with Bill Clinton. The one thing I respect about him, I'm going to say this. He wore 1970s shorts, okay, shorts, like Richard Simmons shorts. And he came running through the drive-thrus of McDonald's and eating his French fries. As a Leo woman, and he's a Leo man, and I exercise and used to run and wear shorts and stop off and eat pizza and fries and smoke cigarettes, I have a true appreciation for somebody who doesn't hide that. He would literally run through the drive-thru. I don't know if you remember that. That was in his early presidencies. And I was like, that's funny. That guy's funny. He wouldn't stop doing it. He was also on the cocaine. So that's why he's running through the drive-thru. He's like, oh, I'm amped up, I'm in shape, fries, I'm hungry, fries. I know what he was doing. I know what he was doing. And Hillary was a lesbian. I mean, I worked out at the gym with a friend who was a photographer for her and said that she was a lesbian. So Bill had an over, what's the word? Hyper sex drive, because when you marry a lesbian, you're not getting laid as much as you want to. Okay, Charlie Sheen, Slick Willie, the French fries. Charlie Sheen. Okay, I've told you this story a few times. I've told you that the day that Corey Haim died, John and I were driving down Barham and literally were stopped by his corpse on the coroner's thing. You come from Hollywood over the hill into Barham. So we were, I want to say it was morning, because I think we ran errands in Hollywood and came back. And he was living at that place right on Barham where they all rent. I can't even think of the name of that. They all go stay there when their wives kick them out and shit. I can't even think of the name of it. That week, and I can't remember who the third person was, but it was in that year, but it was in several months. Me and John were taking pictures in Angeles Crest. So like where Keith used to ride his motorbike, and we were going down and we were photographing, right? And then we were coming back, and the coroner's truck was there again for Mark Salas off of Glee, who was taking Charlie Sheen. Mark Salas got arrested for child porn and the images that he used, which, by the way, the code word for that is cheese pizza. Please go up on the internet. Besides looking up fetus in a jar, aka Barbara Bush, Enjoy yourself. You'll thank me later. Because all of our doctors give us the fetuses, right? Right? Anyway, look up fetus in a jar, but go and look up, God, what was I just saying? I just went to fetus in a jar. Go look up JFK Jr. on Jay Leno. JFK Jr., Jay Leno, George Magazine, Monica Lewinsky. JFK Jr. Mark Salling. I'll tell you that in a second. JFK Jr., he sat right there and he's like, look at this. I have George Magazine. And in it, I got this article from Monica Lewinsky. Do you, as a 9-year-old, you just happen to publish Monica Lewinsky's feeling like a piece of pizza, cheese pizza, at a party that her parents were throwing, passed around with the pizza. And they say Pizzagate is fake. Cheese pizza, child porn. Look it up. Understand what that motherfucker's doing on the camera, and Jay Leno, when they're talking about it and acting like, I'm just Homer Gomez from fucking wherever, Kentucky. I don't know shit. I'm just yucking it up. They are in your face playing. They murder people in your face playing. No, they do that. So after this happened yesterday, I just immediately brought up Seth Rich. Seth Rich, age 32. He's the one that worked for Bernie Sanders. And he's the one that went into Hillary Clinton's emails because he thought Hillary was fucking with Bernie Sanders. Now, they're both Democrat. So it wasn't Republican Democrat. So Seth Rich, young, idealistic, 32 years old, tall, good-looking boy, same look as the one yesterday, Charlie Kirk, same look, same kind of look. Where, they look conservative no matter what. So Seth Rich is just walking down the street and he thinks, you know what? I'm going to go get Hillary Clinton's emails and I'm going to dump them publicly because this bitch is cheating the election. This is what he's thinking. He's thinking this, right? He's not even knowing. So he takes those emails, 60,000 of them. And this is what Pizzagate is. He takes those, Hillary was hot back in the 80s. Shut the hell up, you blind ass person. If Hillary was hot and the rest of us are worried about our looks, you need to be quiet. Oh, did he? He worked, but he was working with Bernie Sanders at the time, if I'm correct. So, Hillary. So Seth takes the emails and he goes to WikiLeaks, which is like a fencing operation for, her and her fucking pantsuits. I'm never wearing a pantsuit. Get it clear, lady. So Seth Rich takes them to WikiLeaks, run by what's his name that's been jailed for a bazillion times. He just got out of jail. Pamela Anderson was sleeping with him, and I can't even remember. Julian Assange. So Julian Assange has this like holding company website where if you get political information or any information that's considered classified and the people don't know about it, you go to him and he, does this, right? He puts them up online. So he puts up 60 emails from Hillary's campaign that has Cankles Clinton. He puts up these emails. What's wrong with pantsuits? You figure it out. It's not a pantsuit nation. Some of us don't want to wear pantsuits, okay? Just stop. Anyway, so Hillary and, oh my God, John Podesta and Obama and whoever else on these emails, all of these people on these emails, bring up thousands of times cheese pizza, where to get the pizza, Comet Ping Pong Pizza, let's go to Comet Ping Pong Pizza and get the cheese pizza, let's get the pepperoni pizza, I like walnut sauce on my pizza. So people are reading this and going, why are they spending $60,000 on hot dogs and fucking doing, talking about pizza when they're supposed to be running the country? Go look at the Lifetime magazine of Hillary Clinton and John Podesta, her securities minister. We all know who John Podesta is. We all know. Okay, go look at that. And they're on the cover of a magazine shot in the White House where they have above them a beautiful piece of art, which is similar to one in a Los Angeles restaurant that shows people around a dinner table carving into a human being, because that's normal artwork. That's so normal to have in the White House. Cool. Anyway, so yeah, I'm crazy. I'm not fucking crazy. So that's why they called it Pizzagate. Because look on the FBI website, pizza, cheese pizza, child porn. Got it? If I'm ordering cheese pizza, I'm ordering a particular type of entertainment. If I'm ordering pizza with pepperoni, pizza with walnut sauce, I'm ordering other kinds of entertainment in the cheese pizza party, right? And Comet Ping Pong Pizza was put out there in order to give directions to the pizza buyers about where to pick their product up. You got a pizza with a note in it. In the note, it said, go pick the product up at this address, bitch. Pick it up at this, I can't with the pantsuits. That's what Pizzagate is. So here's what they said about it. They said that somebody tried to go to the basement of, this is what they put out in the news, tried to go to the basement. I don't know if Julian Assange was freed. I thought he was, but I might be wrong. They tried to go to the basement of Comet Ping Pong Pizza, and some guy called it in as they were holding all the kids there. No, Comet Ping Pong Pizza was like a taxi station. The cabs go in and they go out to their destination. That's what Comet Ping Pong Pizza was. Okay? Yes, Julian was, I thought he was freed. That's what that is. Yeah, and then Ellen Degenerate hosts the Oscars, and she's like, Brad, honey, do you want 2 pieces of different kind of pizza? Yeah, bitch, give me the cheese pizza. And she's handing out pizza while we're all laughing like it's so cool. Why did they bring in chicken wings? Just pizza? Why not potato things that they sell at those? But I know what they're doing. So what the hell are you talking about? Don't act like I'm fucking crazy. Don't act like I'm crazy. That's what it was. But they tried to make you think it's fucking crazy. It's not crazy. Where are these children going? Oh, I see. But Seth Rich was the one that started it. And they said that you're ruining pizza. Well, some of us eat pizza, but, well, she fucked Bill and had a kid, but did they do that in a tube? Like, did Bill actually have sex with her? Because he likes them young, and he's kind of a predator. She don't seem like she's going to be easily easily taken by a predator. She seems like she might bite in that pantsuit. Anyway, but they made us sound crazy. They play in your faces, okay? They play in your faces. And look what they did to Monica Lewinsky, who still comes from one of those families. They, what's his name? Ken Starr? Was that the investigator, or what's his name? Ken Starr, okay? Whoever that person was, held Monica Lewinsky in a hotel room for 4 fucking days. That is hostage taking. Why? Because she sucked the president's dick? Maybe you should go. Yeah, Linda, what's her name, that held the dress with the Star Jones? Yeah. And Linda, whoever took the dress with the sperm on it. Like, what, he can't jack off on her dress and, like, you got to take the dress? Lady, get out of my closet. I like my pantsuits the way they are. Anyway, it was Bill's fault, no matter what Monica was. And women were so ready to say, yeah, Linda Tripp, thank you. It's been so long, it's out of my head. I'm going off of memory off it. But the guy's the president, so he has power over a 20-year-old. I don't care. Don't call her a whore. He's the fucking whore. He's the predator. He was married. He fucking allowed her to be kidnapped by Ken Starr, right? He allowed that. Men are not romantic. Stop with that. How romantic? You know what men do. Come on. Come on. You know what the men do. Yeah, we're talking about majority men here. Anyway, that's the problem. That's what Pizzagate was. Now, as I was saying, John and I were down in Angeles Crest right when Mark Salling, however you say his name, from Glee, got caught with child porn because his girlfriend turned him in. She should have turned him in even worse, but he wanted to get a better sentence. So, like, instead of 20 years, 19 and a half, whatever. So he was going to turn evidence against Charlie Sheen. That was back in that court case. That's what Mark Salas was there to do. Yeah, Laura Silsbury transferring 31 children. I was saying that back in the day. And people were like, my family was like, you're crazy. How could you think that? Why do you think that? It's the government. They would never do it. Well, yes, they would. Bill Clinton, Laura Silsbury, and the lawyer that was a convicted pedophile. Got it? Anyway, Mark Salling was hanging. It's not funny. He was hanging, but that was murder because he was going up against Charlie Sheen. When I look at Charlie Sheen, everybody should be apologizing to Denise Richards, whether you like her or not. She brought up the fact that he was looking at underage. It's in her court document. She went to court and everybody attacked her. She lost her career for a certain amount of time. He was looking at child porn. That's out of his wife's words, and that's on the computer, and she stood by it. She took in his 2 boys by Brooke, what's her name, right? She took them in, and she couldn't handle them because they were smearing shit all over the walls. That's what little boys do when they're being sodomized, raped, and whatever. Oh, maybe Mark Salling did shoot himself. I rolled up on the corner. What I'm saying is John and I were driving right by that as the coroner was pulling up. This is the same time around Corey Hames. Maybe he did shoot himself. I thought he was hanging in the backyard, though. So I'm a little bit confused about, he was hung. Okay, yeah, I thought he hung himself. So Denise even took in Charlie's other kids until she couldn't handle them. Okay? So little boys that do that and little kids that do that, they're being sexually abused. They say there's a stupid thing saying Burke Ramsey killed his sister. He did not, okay? Well, I wasn't there, but in my psychic opinion, he didn't. He, too, was accused of wiping stuff all over the walls, wetting his bed, as was his sister. Hello, sexual abuse. Hello, sexual abuse. Research sexual abuse of children. Understand what they're doing. And before you get up in arms about somebody being against abortion, then get up in arms. If you're actually pro-abortion, then... No, hold on a second. I don't know how to word that. If you're pro-abortion, I guess you're pro-shooting. But why can't you defend children? So I can't even talk to anybody if you can't defend children. If you can't help children who are being fucking abused. Yeah, I'm sorry. Pro-life. Thank you. Well, the pro-abortion people, no wonder they don't care about someone getting shot, because to them, they don't care about anything. They don't care about potential life, midstream life, full-term life, afterlife, adult men with children. You're still harming the children. You're still killing children. Charlie Kirk had 2 children. Those little kids, and I don't know if they're girls or boys. I know one's a girl. But yes. Well, what I'm saying is, you don't, like, why do you not have a thread of decency towards the children? 2 girls. They only care about cats. Yeah, they only care about cats and tree frogs in the fucking park. And it's terrible. And by the way, the kids I knew that got murdered in LA, and I knew, again, several, they got shot in our neighborhood under the age of 20 and under, okay? Shot, 124, shot because he was in a band. I'm not a band, in a rap band, and they shot him straight in the head. I know, I don't care. Some of them have children, and it's not okay. It's just, you may not like them. They may be abhorrent human beings in your mindset, right? But you can't. You can't. You can't. I can't. But understand what they're doing. They want us, a toddler girl and a baby boy. See? Yeah. Yeah, no, shooting all the time. I mean, I'm telling you, Keith and Jason's friend was shot down the street from the house. Like, Keith was getting in the car with this kid to celebrate his birthday, and then when that kid was coming to pick up Keith, who we had in our house his whole childhood, like he was our son's friend, both of them, then Dorian called, and Keith got in the car with Dorian, texted him and said, I'll meet up later for your birthday, and that kid was murdered in that 20-minute time frame, like shot. And Keith came running home, and the police said it was a suicide, okay? Our care gets weaponized by the psychos. I know, right? The police said, no, that was a suicide. I'm like, yeah, it's not a suicide, bro. It's not a suicide. So it's just, let's see, this makes sense why my cousin from LA lived with us in elementary school. Oh, they're everywhere. Like, I had those gang kids in my house. You still don't get to kill them. You still don't get to kill them. Okay, you don't get to do that. If you're in imminent danger at the time, you can use self-defense, and whatever happens, happens. But we're talking about pop-shotting people random. Like, I don't like what you said. Boom. I was here for Rodney King. I was pregnant with Jason when that broke out. And again, they beat the shit out of Rodney King. And I was it a truck driver, a white truck driver against black? But they set it up. It is MK Ultra. Yeah, Canyon Country, Alice. I'm always out in your area. It was, yeah, it was, well, it doesn't matter if it's a psyop. The guy's dead and he has 2 children. So psyop or no psyop, he's dead. Care if life is, let's see. If you did not help make a life, you damn sure. That Shauna, bravo, girl. Oh, it was an Asian guy that I can't remember. I was pregnant with Jason. We were under martial guard. I did go downtown, like down to where it happened, which was lower Wilshire area, like Westmoreland, Vermont, Normandy, blah, blah, blah. I used to live down there in the middle of that when I first moved here. And there were gangs then. Sometimes I'd have to sleep in my car. But no, I don't, well, people say he's not dead. I wasn't there, but he was, yeah, he's waking up the younger generation and they don't like that. But more importantly than that, don't kill people, whether you agree with them or not. And secondly, they're squelching your free right. All of these apps are squelching free right. Okay? They're your free speech. You have to speak. I disagree with a lot of people, and I have a lot of people that make up shit around me and say all kinds of shit about me. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to stop talking. And when you kill me, I go home to God. So that's what a weaponized. Okay, what is a weaponized human being? A weaponized human being is a person who has been under MK Ultra, like Britney Spears. So every time they say a code word, they've been systematically traumatized throughout their childhood in the developmental stages, 0 through 4, and their brain has been split so they can have different personalities brought forward. Sometimes you can have a little child. Sometimes you can have like an adult. Sometimes you can have a sex kitten. Watch Britney Spears. Watch Amanda Bynes. They go in and out of it all the time. And I know one very famous singer, I was around her and I saw her go through 3 different personality types, okay? 3 different types of personality. So when these kids are sodomized in childhood, and that's how you do it, through intermittent reinforced love and neglect and sodomy ritual through the backside of your body, where they break you down in pain, leave you to come out with it, right? You have to come out with it. And then when that happens, they can call up an altar. That's why people have altars. I feel like a different person, like literally, and they respond being an altar. So when these kids, these shooters, these school shooters, these whoever they are, first of all, they are, I was there at the beginning of Sabrina Carpenter because I had to deliver tickets to her house with my friend whose husband was managing her at the time, years ago. Her car got towed, so we drove, and I remember seeing Sabrina. It was right early in the beginning of her career. But yeah, they're Disney kids and all of that, Disney programming. It's exactly right. And honestly, what you have to understand about it is some people they would, if you were 3 and they were sodomizing you, you would be fragmented. Your mind would be split because of the pain and the love, and then the abuse and the love. That's how they do it. But then these people grow up and they have their school kid altar, their doctor altar, whatever they are, their singing altar. And then somebody pulls a switch and it's like one of them in the beehive here pops down and says, I'll go do the mission. Like the Born Identity. Watch that movie. Watch that movie. They are trained to do that. Chop, chop, do it. That's what you do, yeah. I mean, that's what they do. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Barbara Walters was born into, yeah, no, but it's not their fault. Like, they are traumatized and come into these families. So it's, it's a beast system here. And when you don't pick a side with what happened yesterday, see it for what it is. It's somebody's effort to tell you that you're not allowed to have that same opinion if you agreed with that particular person. You're not, or if you agreed with JFK, you're not allowed to have that opinion. You cannot have that opinion. You can't. Can't have it. Not allowed to say it. Mm-mm. Terrible. Not allowed to do it. Yeah. Let's see. I don't know who's what. I do know they invert in these families. When you listen to Denise Richards' voice, it reminds me very much of, my brain is mush tonight. You know her, Body Heat actress. Oh my God. Kathleen Turner. Reminds me very much of that. It sounds like a earthy, smoky voice like that. And I think it's because if you do so many hormones, like if you're a hormone person, right, like steroid or person, and you do so many hormones, the opposite of what you were born, then when you go through menopause or that age, later in life, it's going to be problematic for you. So, yeah, no, I know. I would love to hear your take on Doreen Virtue sometime. Yeah, no, I don't think gay people don't agree. You know what? I know that people agreed with him, and I know that they don't agree with him, and that's fine. You can do whatever you want. You just don't have a mother effing right to take a pop shot. And I don't care who you are. If you cannot keep your mouth shut, about you thinking it's okay for somebody to be killed and his poor children and his wife, if you can't shut up about that, no matter who it is, and even understand that a person on death row has a family, a mother that birthed him and siblings and people that loved him. And if you can't keep your mouth shut and respect the fact that you're doing something that is really only God's work, then don't say anything at all. Like literally walk away. Okay, Doreen Virtue, interesting. I never liked her stuff. That's me. I never liked her stuff. I didn't really pay much attention to her, okay? So I didn't pay particular attention to her or not to her. But what I don't use angel cards because I don't go the spirit guide route or whatever. I don't even bother with that. I just ask to connect to the best source I can. And who knows what we're really doing anyway. But she did denounce her cards. And I'm just going to say something to you. She is allowed to change her mind about what she does for work and what she doesn't do. What I don't like about it is that I think she was probably told to do that for some kind of financial gain. She made millions off of those cards. So those cards brought about, millions of dollars for her. So anyway, I don't know what to say. Yeah, and Hay House takes 90% of your stuff. I'm not doing anything to get a name for myself where you're taking 90% of my income. I'm not doing that. I'll just stay back here and do what I do, right? Let's see. Jamie Lee Curtis gave me a big hug when I was 13. As a kid, I knew that she was both genders, hermaphrodite, or whatever they say. She could have been inverted because of her father. She could have been inverted because of that. But I knew it as a kid. I knew about John Travolta too. And I told people, I like Louise Hay. She has the same similar background, only she was a model. But she ran away for the same reasons, and she worked with AIDS people, and I really like it. But I cannot respect you if you're going to take 90% of a creator's work, right? And take it for yourself just to put your name on the publishing company. That sounds like that's a takeover of her energy and maybe a sellout like that. That's what it sounds like. I mean, I like Louise Hayes. I like the whole fact she was a runaway, the whole fact she, John Travolta, we all know about him, do we not? He's gay and he likes young boys. Likes to pick them up on the side of the street. That was my friend's experience. So, and I think that's experience of my other friend that did movies with him. They had to keep hiring staff, young boy staff, because he liked to play with young boy staff. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, if the trans didn't like him, don't kill him. Who's telling you to listen to him? Fucking turn your head and go somewhere else. He doesn't affect, people don't understand. You can say whatever you want publicly and you have no say so. You're not going to affect my life. I don't give a fuck what you say and I'm going to live my life. So why an individual? Because it's not an individual. It is a group. It is a group of people who want you to be forced to think the way they want you to think, right? Let's see. No, it's not crazy about John Travolta. That's factual. I have a friend that did the movie Michael with him, and she had to keep rehiring crews, him and Kevin Spacey, because they grope men, underage young men, 20, whatever. And he was doing that way back when I was 13 or 14, because I had a runaway guy friend that worked the streets in Toronto, and he picked him up. So I knew that. I didn't even have to know that. I knew that. So he could be whatever he wants to be. And again, he's in a beast system religion. He's in a beast system religion. Yeah, you heard it in the 90s. Exactly. I heard it in the 80s when I ran away. And I heard it from people that worked on the set with him. We also heard about Kevin Spacey, the older crew members telling people that worked with Dom DeLuise. Yeah, that guy. And probably Burt Reynolds. Burt Reynolds, my uncle used to do Fishing with the Stars with Burt Reynolds. He was married to he ran the group home I lived in for 8 months. And he would go off and do Fishing with the Stars with Burt Reynolds when I was a kid. So I, always tried to sneak away and do that. Dom DeLuise, I can believe it. Scientology is another word for Satanism. Okay. Another public rant, and then I have to go. Who the hell says, oh, if you come work for us for free, you'll get farther ahead? The currency of this planet is money, bitch, and internship is a way of stealing work from people. You working for free is giving your energy away, and it is not benefiting you because you're a dumbass. I mean, they're little kids, so they don't know. But you giving your energy in an internship is a boss stealing from you. No, Hay House takes 90%. Hay House, not Louise Hayes, Hay House, but it's her name on that. I wouldn't do that. Hay House takes 90% of what you produce. People go there so they can say, I'm a Hay House contributor. I don't need to verify who I am. You either like me or you don't. Like, you get a reading or you don't. I don't care. It is what it is. So it's just interesting. Have you ever tried, hold on. Sloan, have they ever tried to recruit you? Yes, in 2016. And I told John, I was at a dinner party for somebody, I can't even say because you'll know exactly who it is. But yes, I said they're Satanists and I'm sitting in the middle of a den of Satanists. Do you remember that? He remembers it. John's on the couch over there. He remembers it. He just came in. So yeah, definitely. No, he told me to start thinking of the grocery list in my head. Like, if I'd have had tinfoil, I'd have covered myself up with it. I was like, oh my God. No, it's just like fucking weird. It just was so weird. But then I just got to tell you this they're all saying hi to you, John.
Hi.
Hi back, he says. He's there. Him and Tallulah are over there. Yeah, he said hi back. But anyway, yeah, I just couldn't, I was like, I was freaked out. I saw the walls open up and I saw the female goddess religion energy in there. So the bodyguards were females or men that looked like castratis, from back time, where they were feminine but masculine, way bigger than me as a person and bigger than any of the females I was with. And there was about 70 important people that you would find in music, very important people. And it was a private event and I was with the family. And I realized what I saw. I was like, oh no. Oh no. And I could not get it out of my head. I could not. I was just like, I saw the walls kind of faded back like this. Now I was seeing psychically at that point because something triggered me. And I really had to chatter in my own head. So the walls went back and I saw the gold stuff on the walls and I saw what was behind the walls. So I was greeted as one, it was interesting, very interesting. So I was like, okay, I know what not to do. No longer in that circle, so it's there. Yeah. Don came in. We're going to have chicken dinner. I'm going to grill chicken salad so I can get my bloody weight back. Okay, I got to tell you a totally irrelevant story. So I went to the warehouse. Yeah, John, you like Taco Bell?
Yeah, I like Taco Bell.
This fucking guy likes Taco Bell. Do you go there how many times?
Once in a while.
Once in a while. He's there like twice a week.
No, I'm not.
And then he gets in fights with the window people. I got to tell that story again. So here's the story. So my kids are little, right? My kids are little, I don't know, teenagers, and we stop at Taco Bell on the way home. So Jason and Keith are in the car. I'm in the car. This is years ago. Obviously, Jason's 33. So we're in the car, and they're kids, 15 and 13, or 15 and 12, whatever. So John orders burritos and whatever. I'm not eating there because I just don't want to be fat, right? So me, I don't even care what they serve. I just don't want to be fat. So we're in the car, right? And John gets in the car and I'm in the front seat, so I don't see anything going on. And John says, "Who took a bite out of this burrito?" Now, I know it's not me. I'm not eating meat burritos or non-meat burritos, right? And John goes so crazy, he goes back into the Taco Bell and rips this guy a new ass in there. He's like, "Do you fucking bite my burrito?" Okay, first of all, if you thought about it logically, the guy works at Taco Bell all day long. He gets the burritos for free and doesn't care. John comes back in the car and he's like, "This fucking guy ate my burritos. I told him I want my money back." We're going home, right? So I'm like, is the dog in the car? Is Tucker in the car? So Jason was like 13 and Keith was like 3 because Tucker died when Jason was 13. Anyway, so he was younger than that, 13 and 10. So I'm like, I don't see Tucker in here. So we get in the house and John's like on a rip about this. 5 years later, Keith comes downstairs and goes, "You remember that burrito? I'm the one that took the bite out of it." He kept that fucking secret for 5 years. Seriously, it is the funniest thing. No, it is. It was Keith who took the bite of the burrito. Seriously. And Keith is a Scorpio moon, so he hid that and he played poker face all the way home. Jason's like, "I don't know what happened." Jason's like me. We're like, "We don't know what happened. I'm looking for the dog in the car." This is how gaslit I was. I'm like, "Was Tucker in the car?" Meanwhile, we haven't been home. The dog hasn't been in the car. We came from... That's what happened. I know. Keith kept it secret till it was safe for him to say. Hilarious. Okay, so I'm driving home from the warehouse 2 days ago. And I turn onto the street, the main street, turn off the warehouse street onto the main street, and a car's in front of me. There's a white car. He's about halfway over here. There's only 2 lanes. This bitch in a Nissan, she just woof left, knocks this guy out, drives over the side of his car, almost like her car is like sideways, his car is sideways. You can hear the crunch, and she's making a run. Well, she was. I thought it was a Tesla, but it was actually a Nissan. I see her start to drive off. I'm like, when is this bitch going to stop? So I speed up. I click her license plate, right? I didn't know it was a girl at the time. I click her license plate like this with my phone. Then I'm looking for the guy. It's always a bitch in a Nissan and a certain group of people. Anyway, so I get the thing, but I'm looking for the guy in the white car. And when I drove past him to catch her license plate, I thought he was behind me. And I guess maybe he went in and went over to the side. But I'm talking like a football field away. She's making a run for this light. And yeah, we're in the San Fernando Valley. She's making a run for the light, right? And she's going for it. And I'm like, what is she going to do? Then I lose track of her. Then the train comes. The train comes. So I pull over behind the white car and I said to the guy, I said, I got her license plate. And I said, give me your phone number. And I sent it to him. She backs up, but she stays like 3 car lengths or 2 car lengths in front of us. She backs up and she comes out and she's like, oh. And I'm thinking, the fuck are you crying about? You ran into his car and took the bumper off, you stupid bitch. And she's sitting there and she won't make eye contact. And she's running around the car and she's speaking in a foreign dialect on the phone. And it's not Mexican. And so she's speaking in this other language that I recognize from particular area. I'm not going to say it, but anyway, she's running around her car. She's in the car. She's out of the car. She's in the car. She's out of the car. I'm like, excuse me, ma'am. Excuse me, like this. He's trying. Yeah, she's sobbing hysterically. And I'm like, what's wrong with you? I go, you don't need to cry. You didn't do it. No one's hurt. You're fine. I go, you're fine. You're literally fine. Then she gets in her car. She walks up to me, but she won't like give the license or anything. No, she's not Jamaican. No. Think of Saturday Night Live in the 80s and think of those guys in the bar like this. and think of Glendale. Anyway, that's all I'm saying. And no, I'm not fucking racist. That's what I'm saying. It's just interesting. It's a certain style of behavior. No, they're not from Mexico. Right. They would be speaking Spanish, and she wasn't that. Yes, Karina, you got it right. She was speaking like Russian with that group of people. Anyway, she's out there. I can't figure out if she's 20, 17, 5. I don't know. She wouldn't speak. I said, excuse me. You need to give him your information, because the guy was like flustered. He just dropped his kids at school. And I'm like, I'm really sorry, Jamaican. Excuse me, there are no Jamaicans in the Valley in California, just so you know. Maybe there are. I haven't seen them. But I'll let you know if I run across a Jamaican family in the Valley in California. So this girl is like sobbing. She gets back in her car, and so the guy says to her, you could have pulled over back there. Like, the only reason she stopped is because she went to go like around the cars, but when the train comes, it blocks the intersection and nobody really moves unless you're going right. And she was in the left lane. She couldn't get through these cars. So she had to back up. So I give the guy, he has my phone number. I leave because I have a life and everybody's fine, right? Yeah, Kardashian. She's a Kardashian. Not really. She didn't look like that. And she definitely would not give her information, which is just fucked up. Jamaican in Windsor, Ontario, Canada. Hi there, Jamaican in Windsor, Ontario, Canada. I know where you are well. My grandma lived in Windsor. My dad grew up in Windsor. Ontario, Canada. I know exactly where you're from. Went there many times. Anyway, this girl, he calls me. The guy calls me. So I'm back at my house, right? Kardashian without plastic surgery. Bingo. So another Ontario. Hi. So anyway, the guy calls me and he's like, oh, I called the police. She wouldn't give her information. So I'm like, I'm going to call the police. So they go, is she white? Is she black? Is she Hispanic? Or, what? And they go through a whole litany. I said, she's a fucking whatever. And I said, she's a fucking bitch who tried to run, but the train caught her. So she had to slink back. I go, she hit the guy and took off and then came back because she couldn't get out of the traffic and was going to get caught. She's a bitch. So anyway, I called it in. It's on document. I probably sound like a psycho. And I left. I know, Lou, we're getting dinner. And so I left. No, she didn't have a deep voice. She had a crybaby voice. She was crying, okay? Another Ontario. And so anyway, I thought she could be illegal, but I thought she was drunk too. But anyway, she leaves. I mean, he calls me. He's like, she left. I'm like, she left? He goes, yeah, she was scared of me. She left in another car, told her brother that she was scared. I said, don't let him bully you. Don't let him bully you. So anyway, she left and the brother kept saying, well, she was scared. I'm like, scared of him? He was the most like kind, mild-mannered person who was kind of like stunned that this happened at 8 o'clock in the morning. So anyway, his insurance called me. And again, they're recording me. I'm like, she's a fucking bitch. She took off. She fucking took off. She took off. I go, you should blood test her. And then he called me back later and said what he said to me. So then I understood the plot of the story. I'm not going to say it because it might identify them. But anyway, that's what happened. Yeah, that was Tallulah. She's gone over to John because John gets her snacks. John makes her chubby. She likes snacky snacks. All right, you guys, I'm out of here. That was a crazy thing. What is she? A Kardashian. I'm not saying it on here. She's a certain type of that nationality that behaves in a certain way. And you run into it during car accidents where they try to twist it on you. But I saw it. I was behind them. She like literally ran over his car. The poor guy dropped his kids at school. And this bitch is like, I think I'll just ignore you and push past you. I think she was either on her phone or drunk. That's it. I don't know. But I wasn't there. Entitled. Yeah, super. And she made a run for it. But I got her license. You know why? Because with what happened to Keith and they took off, I just can't stand it. I can't stand it. So now I'm going to be that person. I'm going to get a dash cam. So I'm actually going to record it. And I may put it on YouTube the next time I can't catch the person. I'll just be like, this happened. This happened. You people find her. That guy's channel, right? Mm-hmm. Yep. Because you could kill someone and she'd be taken off. I can't stand it. Okay. Bye, you guys. Mwah. Thank you. If this video's removed, I may remove it. Because they're coming after me, taking down my Hulk Hogan shit. Okay. South Africa, hi. Tallulah, she's going to get her good dinner. We're going to give her some chicken. Maybe if she's good. She likes chicken. Okay, bye. I like chicken. She likes chicken. Bye, you guys.